Hey kids, how you doing today? I want to make a quick video here to talk about today's project. So on yesterday's assignment, we added a clicker game. If you clicked on an object, the points went up or down depending on what you did. I looked through a lot of your projects and they were amazing, especially the balloon exploding one. I really enjoyed them all. If you had trouble, don't worry. When I get back, we'll circle around, and if you had issues, we'll figure it out. Today though, since it's a shortened class, we are just going to add one little more piece to our game. So almost all games have a timer. And what you're going to do today is start laying out a rough framework for a clicker game. Yesterday was the clicking part, today's the timer, and then on Wednesday, we'll add if and else statements to actually begin and end a game. But for today, all we want to do is just add a timer. And adding a timer is really easy. How are we going to do it? Well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to start it off like most. In the event when the green flag is clicked, we want to initialize some stuff. And what I want to do is I want to make some variables. My variable is going to be time. When I hit OK, I have my time up there. Now setting up the time block is really easy. What we're going to do is set our time. So we're going to drag in a set my variable. We're going to hit time. And we're going to set the time for just something arbitrary. 10 seconds sounds good to me. Now we need this to count down. How do we do that? Well, what I want to do is I want to go into my controls and I want to repeat. So I want to repeat 10 times. Whatever this number is in time, I want the same number down here. I want my program to wait a second. Then I want it to change my time by -1. So here, when the green flag is clicked, I want to set the time to 10. I want to repeat this block in here 10 times. I want it to wait a second and then decrease by 1. So when I hit the flag now, should start off at 10 and start counting down. Now whatever number I have in here, that's where it'll be. So if I stop it, and let's say I do 20 and go, it's going to start counting down from 20. But our repeat's only for 10. So it's going to get down to 10 and then it's going to stop. So just a little hint that these two numbers have to be the same. See, it stopped right there at 10. Now this is only one part of the game. I still want to score just like yesterday. Let's add another variable here and let's do score. This is going to be almost identical to what we were doing before. Now I want score to be set up initially as 0. So I'm going to come over here and I just want to set my variable score to 0. So this is just an initialization thing here. How do we actually control this code for the score again? Well, in the event when this sprite is clicked, we want to change under our variables score to +1. So if I click on this, you can see it goes up. Let's add a little twist to this though. Let's use our repeat control again. Let's just repeat this one time and let's change the effect so we actually know we're clicking on the mouse. So if I go over here to change and drag this up here, I'm going to get a bunch of different effects. I'm going to change this effect by 10 just so it's a little less dramatic. So the color should change this color of the cat. Ooh, there it goes. Disco kitty. Oots, 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 oots. Very fun. Other effects do different things. Fisheye makes it into a fisheye. The whirl's going to make it all whirly. Woo! Pixelate should make it like an old school video game, which it does. Very useful when you're playing or making games. Mosaic should make a bunch of them. Woo, it does. Brightness should just simply make it bright, which it does. Ghost will actually make the image lighter or disappear like a ghost. So that right there just lets me click on my sprite and know that I'm clicking on it. Got a good score of 20 here. Hit the green flag, both should initialize. Now there's one thing I do want to add here. When the time does end over here, I do want it to say something. So let's just come back over here and say time's up. So now I know when my clock hits 0. So if we try this, it should click down. Doesn't matter how I'm clicking on it. Again, when I get back, we'll figure out the if and else statements. Oh, there it is, time's up. So this will probably be helpful when we actually start making our game. Let's make it a little more interesting right now too. Let's make this thing move a little. So when the green flag is clicked, let's just go to a random position. So I'm just going to go to a random position. And then what I want to do is turn in any degree. It doesn't matter. So we'll do turn 15 degree. So when I hit it, it should just go to a random position and turn. Why that? Well, at the end of the day, I never want it to start in the same spot, and I want it to move around. We are going to use another control, our repeat. So we'll just repeat this one forever. And what we're just going to do is just keep moving and turning. So over in my motion, let's just go to glide to a random position for a second. Let's see what happens here. As you can see, it'll bounce off, and every second it's just going to go to a random position. Now if I try to click on this, ooh, that's hard. You can start seeing it getting lighter and lighter. Right now, my time ending doesn't do anything. That's our if and else statement. We're going to get to that because it's a little more complicated when I get back. But for today, it's a shortened period. This is all I want you to do. So let's take another look at our blocks just so we understand. This block right here is my initializing block. What it's going to do is set two variables, one time to 10, the other variable score to 0. It's going to repeat 10 times. It's going to wait a second, then change the time variable -1, so it counts down. Once it goes through this loop 10 times, it's going to exit, and then it's just going to say time's up for 2 seconds. So this one right here deals with my timer. This one deals with my sprite being clicked. So when the sprite is clicked, I'm going to change the score by 1. This time, I added a little effect into it. So every time it's clicked, I'm just going to add this effect once. This block down here deals with position. So I got a random position and I'm turning a random degree. So this just makes sure that my sprite is in a different spot and moving in a different direction every time I click on it. We don't want our users cheating, do we? This forever loop just says, hey, glide for a second, then just go to another random position. So this deals with motion. So these 3 blocks here set up the foundation of a neat little clicker game that we're going to get to. So again, if I hit start, you can see it moving around. I can click on it, and it's getting lighter and lighter. Well, I'm poorly clicking on it. There it goes. It's getting better and better. Time gets to 0, says time's up, and that's it. That's all I want you kids to do for today. So take a look at the code. If you have any questions, you can work along with this video. I'll also post a screenshot of this right here and my project so you could take a look inside of it. As always, kids, if you have any questions, please email me. I'll be next to my email all day, and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. Other than that, kids, good luck, and I cannot wait to see what programs you make.